Today we're gonna make beef marsala. This is a great dish. If you like chicken marsala, you're gonna love this one. Here are the ingredients. Let's get into it right now. Okay, beef marsala. This is, basically fancying up chicken marsala, which is great, or, chicken or pork marsala, veal marsala. But we're doing this with these beautiful fillets, and filet is not cheap, no matter what, and beef prices have gone up a lot. But I purchased these at Costco. These were $19 a pound. I have two 8-ounce fillets, so this is $19 for the two of those. This is for two. This would be like a really good date night one, I'd say. Okay, I'm just gonna set them off to the side. Make sure when you're using your fillets, when you're cooking any steak, get it out of the fridge for 45 minutes, an hour. Let it warm up a little bit. You'll get a much better sear on it. Mushrooms, we have, mushrooms are always in marsala. I used the gourmet dried mushrooms. So I took 1 ounce of them, put it in hot water from my kettle, let them reconstitute it for like 20 minutes. Then I drained them, squeezed them out, and I gave them a chop. So you can also use like any type of mushrooms you like, but I like to use those, and I like to use cremini mushrooms, and I have a half a pound that I sliced here. Marsala always uses marsala wine, so we have 3/4 cup of marsala and we have 1 cup of beef stock. That's the ratio I'm going for. If you want it like super marsala heavy, you could increase the marsala to 1:1. We have 2 tablespoons of flour, that's gonna help thicken it. I had 2 large shallots that I minced fairly fine right here. 3 cloves of garlic or 4 cloves of garlic that I minced. 2 tablespoons of butter. This is soft now. I'll get another 2 tablespoons from the fridge. Just cold butter to finish up the sauce at the end. And also some nice parsley, a couple tablespoons will finish it up as well. This is a super simple recipe. It's dependent on technique that you can learn how to cook any steak indoors, not too hot, and we'll finish it in the oven and make our sauce. It's simple. Let's get into it. Fillets or tenderloin. These are labeled filet and tenderloin from Costco, but the filet is the narrower part of the tenderloin, even though they both come from the same thing. These are delicious. They're super tender. We do have to tie it up. I tied one already, but I had it tied off camera, but I want to show you. So a lot of times, the butcher will trim it up, trim the fat, and sometimes there'll be some overhanging meat like there is right here. And in order to make it cook a little bit more evenly, it's easy just to tie it up. So I do a double loop like this. When you have a double loop, it'll stay. If you just did a single, it would just all come apart again. And you don't have to be super tight here, but tight enough that this filet now will maintain a different shape when it's cooked. And they're very thick. They're about 1.5 inches thick. So they're gonna take too much time if we try to do them in the pan by itself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a 2-part cooking process. Get your oven set to 350 degrees, set the rack to the middle level. We're gonna sear them first, okay? And then we'll finish them in the oven. Salting, peppering, either do it the night before you salt, or just do it kind of right before you sear it. This whole entire dish could be done in a small pan. It's 2 steaks. If you were doing more, get a bigger pan. This is a 12-inch stainless steel pan. Always preheat your stainless. We're gonna preheat to medium heat, even a touch lower than medium. That's all you need to get a really good sear on your steak. Really, it's a matter of if you dry it off really well. You need to have it really dry, moderate heat. Put a little bit of oil in the pan. It'll be perfect. While that's heating up, pat your steak really dry. I already did, just really when you go like this, nothing comes off of it. It's just super dry. My cutting board's dry. Everything's dry here. Salt and pepper. I really want a nice amount of salt on this. I'm using Diamond Kosher salt here. I want to hit up the sides and, obviously the top and the bottom. Don't be shy on this. Get that in there. Get those sides. And pepper. Set your alarm. We're gonna do 4 minutes on one side, we'll do 3 minutes on the other, and then we'll do some of the sides, and we'll put it in the oven. Okay, you could use olive oil, but I'm gonna use avocado oil. You could use vegetable oil. Kind of a neutral oil works well. Do a decent amount here. Don't worry about it if you have too much. You can take it out after. Set my alarm. Gonna get my fan. If you got an exhaust vent, turn it on. 4 minutes and 3 minutes. Okay, it's been exactly 4 minutes. Let's see if we got a nice sear. Remember, medium heat on that. Absolutely gorgeous without burning it. That's it. Just let it go. 3 minutes now on this side. Okay, so that's another 3. So since these are very wide, We can turn them on their side very easily. Like you don't even have to hold them. If you had like a narrower steak, like a New York strip or something, you can just kind of keep your tongs like that as you're doing it. Do it about 30 seconds per side here, then just roll it, do the next part. But you can see how raw that is in there. Right now, if I was to take a meat thermometer, it would probably be about 90 degrees internally. And you know, even if you like something super rare, probably would want to get it at least to 120. Though I do know some people like black and blue steaks. Okay, we'll just go like that. And like that. And I got my stopwatch so I can tell I've been doing like 30 seconds a side. You know, if you're good at keeping track, use your eyes, look at it, stuff like that. That's pretty good there. See that? Yeah, nice side there. Pull them out. Right away here, you can take the oil out of here. I used avocado oil, has no taste. I use less than 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna keep it. You can take it out if you want. You can put vegetable oil, not vegetable oil, you can put olive oil in. We're cooking Italian food today, okay? The water from the rehydration of them, that's gonna kind of like remove that there. If you're worried about any burning here, you can add some liquid to the pan, deglaze it first. Let's take a very quick temperature of our steak here. Look at that, 70 degrees inside there, okay? They look done, they look crystal clear. They're not, put them in the oven. We can do a little bit of deglaze action if we're worried about burning, we'll do it initially. So then our pan gets back to new again. But I want to cook these mushrooms, these dried ones, even after reconstituting them, they take longer to cook than the other mushrooms, so I do these first. Okay, I got this set. I'm gonna put this in here for 5 minutes. I'm gonna take it out at 350 and I'm gonna check it, okay? I wanna cook my steak to about medium to medium rare. So we're gonna let these go over about 3 minutes. So I'm gonna turn up the heat a little bit more. I'm gonna get my other mushrooms in. These are creminis. Put a little bit of salt to accelerate this water release. Like now I kind of want this to happen quickly. Turn up the heat more. Time is of the essence. You got your steak in the oven, you take it out, keep it tented, but you don't want it to get cold when you're making your marsala sauce. So we did 4 minutes, I checked it, it was only 101 degrees, so I just set it for another 3 minutes. So you could also set your oven to 450, it would take a shorter amount of time. It doesn't really matter, you just need to get it cooked internally to your liking. These are starting to release their water a little bit. Got my heat on about 7 out of 10 here. I'm monitoring the situation closely. I don't want my pan to burn too much. If you think your pan is burning, you can just add more liquid to the pan. That will lower the temperature of your pan. It will remove it. It will evaporate quickly, and then you can continue to saute again. A little pepper. We already put salt on them. I'm gonna lower the heat down to about a 4. Add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a couple tablespoons. Get the shallots in. Shallots go for a couple minutes. I'm gonna remove the steak. I think that will be good. We'll check it right now. There, it's about 104. They're about the same. So they're gonna need another 3 minutes at least. It's like, I don't know if you're getting the exact same thickness. What you can do is to try to make it uniform. You could pound one. Say you got like 4 steaks and one's really thick. You could pound it to the thickness of all the other ones. To be honest with you, the timing here is gonna work better because our sauce is gonna be waiting. It's gonna be hot steak, hot sauce. That was just a couple minutes on that. We're gonna put the garlic in just for a little bit, like 30 seconds. Let that garlic get fragrant. And your steaks don't have to be to your right temperature. I could pull them out now and I could just keep finishing them in the sauce by turning them upside down. Flour, 2 tablespoons. Okay, so I'm just mixing that flour until there's no longer any white. Right there, it's pretty good. So Marsala, keep your head back. Turn the heat up to high now. And just hold your pan and then just, with the flat edge of your wooden spoon, remove all of the brown bits. You could also use a whisk too. Okay, that's good. It's very thick. It only takes a very short period of time. 1 cup of beef stock.
That's a timer.
Okay. These are fine. I don't care what temperature they are because they're close to what I want it. The rest can go in here. If you're behind and your sauce is going to take a long time, make sure you tent your steaks. Otherwise, you don't have to. Okay, the flour is going to thicken up this sauce in a second. As the flour hits the liquid, everything's going to rehydrate and it will thicken. Now I know that this is the exact right amount and everything because I just made it the other day, but you know, if you're doing recipes and you're testing them for the first time, just start with a little lesser amount than you think, and then you can always just take some liquid out, mix flour in, pour it back in, and it will thicken again. It's just so you don't start with too much. If you start with too much, then you're gonna have to add more liquid to thin it out. I'm gonna lower this down to a simmer. I'm gonna put a little parsley in there. Do a little taste test. Look, that's our consistency on our sauce. That's absolutely perfect. Delicious. All right, so look at the steaks now. 120. A lot of people like their steak right at this level here, okay? So that's rare. If you want it cooked a little more, just finish it on the simmer in the sauce. Get the juices in, whatever remains. Take a little bit of the sauce on top. So you can do your final taste test here for salt. My salt level's good. I just tasted the sauce. It's delicious. If you were 105, just keep doing it. You can keep turning them over every 30 seconds and then just check with your thermometer till you get it exactly how you like. All right, we're gonna plate this up for the taste tester. So Tara is here. Hi, Tara.
Hi.
Thank you. I mean, this was a really quick recipe. She went out to pick up James from basketball practice, and by the time you got back, I was almost done making it.
Yeah, very quick.
So what do you think? How's the cook? Does it look good for you?
That's really the way I like it.
About 130 degrees internal temperature.
It's really good. It's perfectly seasoned.
It's perfectly cooked too.
It's perfectly cooked for my liking. I mean, obviously, if you want it more
You know,
well done, or if you want it more rare, then
I cooked it to what you wanted it.
yeah, this is perfect.
It's not what I wanted to. You know, I would want it a little bit more rare. I probably would have stopped around like 115 and then pan sauced it to about 120 to 125. That's probably about 135 right now.
The sauce is spot on. I mean, it tastes like perfect marsala.
You mind if I get in there?
No, go for it.
It's pretty good. Pretty perfect.
What do you think?
I'm trying to find something bad with it.
Yeah.
Like being from Costco. You know, people,
No, why would you find Costco's great?
I think people want to bash Costco for everything because a lot of retailers can't compete on price with them.
Okay.
You know, like they get mad that Costco can sell olive oil cheaper than they can in Parmigiano Reggiano. You know, the blocks are $13 a pound. I think it's excellent.
Yeah, I honestly can't think of anything that would make this better. This thickness is actually really perfect. I mean, I think this is more of a special occasion type of dinner because it is a little on the pricier side. But if you're having like a date night with your spouse, partner, whomever, and you want to impress them, I think this is a good one.
Though I made it for two people here, James is still and Sammy are going to eat that one. So
Yeah.
What does it get?
I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah, because it's excellent. There's nothing to improve about it, but I'd still want to go and eat the beef bourguignon, and that is my measuring stick honestly, for everything.
That's the whole channel's issue now is can I beat the beef bourguignon? Honestly, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. And
that is the best thing that you've ever made.
You know, watch that one if you haven't watched it and make it. But make this one too. We'll see you next time.